Hi, my name is Jennifer Hearn, and today I want to show you how I use the Liquify tool in Photoshop. So this is a really handy little tool, especially if you take portraits, and especially if you want to fix things like clothes that are just a little bit out of shape, something, a dress or a shirt or something that's too big, or maybe that's gaping a little bit. You can also use it to add volume to hair or to plaits, which are braids, I think they call it in the US, which is a really nice thing to be able to do. And it's super quick and super easy. So you can see here that I have this portrait of a little boy. His shirt is a little bit too big for him. So today we're going to use the Liquify tool just to shape this up so it becomes less distracting in the image. So we have a new layer. To create a new layer, you just can press Command J. Then you go to filter up here and you go down to Liquify. Okay, so when you click on the Liquify tool, there's a number of different options. So I will just use either this one, which is called the forward warp tool, or the one down here called the bloat tool. Okay, the different ones do different things, but these are the two that I find particularly useful. So I'm going to show you how to use both. So with the forward warp tool, we are going to take our brush, we're going to make our brush a little bit bigger. You can use the close square bracket to do that. With the Liquify tool, it works really well when you have a plain background on your image. You need to be careful if there are other things in the background, because you can end up kind of distorting those. You just need to keep an eye on that. And even also with the stripes here, you could run into some issues, but I don't think we will. So it's important that your brush is slightly bigger than the area that you want to change. And what you do is just start by slowly grabbing it and pushing it into shape, okay? So this happens really quickly. You can take as long or as little as you like, and you can just play around with it. It's just kind of meshing around the pixels until you get a shape that you like. You can literally spend ages doing it, or a couple of seconds. We're just gonna just tidy it up just a little bit so it's less distracting in the image. Now to look at what you've done, you can press the preview button down here. Just click on it, you can see before, and then you click again and you can see the result. So this has been quite a big shift in just a couple of seconds of work. So to accept that, you click OK, and that will make the changes on the layer. Just before we go, there are some things that you can do with eyes, with mouth, with nose. Generally speaking, I will tend to not make changes, especially to children, to their eye size or their mouth or anything like that. The times I might do that is if I was doing a conceptual fine art portrait where I wanted to exaggerate an area of the face for dramatic effect or to tell a story. But it's not something I would do, especially not with a gorgeous little boy like this who already has lovely big eyes. But you can see here, if you just look at the eye that's closest to the left as you're looking, you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, but it's a bit weird, so I don't recommend that. So we'll click OK here. We're happy with what we've done, and we'll click OK, and that then is embedded in this layer. And that's the change that we've made. Okay, how else I might use this is I might go to fix a little bit of this dress, for example. Now this edit is complete, but I would have used the Liquify tool here to sort of bulk out the hair a little bit, using the forward warp tool, just dragging it up and dragging it out to give a little bit more volume. I also use the Liquify tool on the dress. If I go to filter, Liquify, I can show you very quickly how I might have done that. So I would have used the forward warp tool for this again, and I could just very easily just pull this out and up like that until I'm happy with it. Now I've already finished this edit, so I just wanted to show you how you might do it. So you can do it very gently. With the dress it's the same, so you can bring it out, you can volumize it if you want. If you feel like there's kind of too much blanket, for example, she's wrapped in a blanket here, it's not actually a dress. So what I will do is just shape that in around her so that it becomes more like a dress. And it's really handy if you have a dress especially on a little girl, maybe if it's a size too big or 2 sizes too big, you can really play around with this once you're on a relatively seamless background. So that's how you might use it there. Again, to have a look, you just press preview, on and off, on and off, and you can click OK to accept the changes. I'm going to cancel because, like I said, I've finished this edit already. This is another way that I might use the Liquify tool. So again, I've completed this edit, but I'm just going to show you by creating a new layer, Command J, and going to Filter, Liquify, and what I will use here is the bloat tool. The bloat tool is a really nice tool to use if you've got a little girl who has braids, or plaits as we call them in Ireland, but I think they're braids in the US. And if you have a little girl that has these in her hair, then you can make them just a little bit more voluminous by using the bloat tool. So again, you'll make the tool a little bit bigger than the actual size of the hair, and you can just use it like this to open out the plaits. So what it's doing is it's sort of expanding the pixels, expanding the hair, so that you're getting it's really nice effect. You can go crazy with it if you wanted to and get some really volume going on, but I tend to try and keep it looking somewhat believable if I can. And then you can see just in a second or two, if I click the preview button, just watch carefully, you can see what we've been able to do there. So I just click OK to save it, and it saves it onto a new layer. So you can see there, I'll turn off the layer and turn on the layer, and you can see the effect that it's had. Another way I might use this, I'm actually in the middle of editing this picture. As you can see, I haven't edited my skin yet, but this is just a very easy way to show you how I might use it here. So I've got a new layer here, go to Filter and down to Liquify. And what I've noticed here, because I'm kind of picky, zoom in, this is just a straight out of camera shot, so a bit of work to be done. But what I've noticed is that I've got more here on this side than I have on this side. I've got kind of a bit of a dip in volume. I might also fill this part in with clone tool, but right now I'm just going to show you how I might use the Liquify tool. I just, oh sorry, I'm on the forward warp. So when I go back to the forward warp from the bloat tool here, just make it smaller, and you can just use it like that to pull out the hair, just to even out both sides so that it looks like the volume is there on both sides. Okay, and then you can just preview, just looking directly at my hair, you can see the impact that has made. So it's a very handy tool to use for many different purposes, and hopefully you found this useful. If you've got any questions, please let me know. I'd be happy to answer them below.